So today on the final battle, we're gonna be discussing what Kyrie Irving was talking about. See, what he was talking about, and he was saying it in short tongue, but they understand, but you don't understand. He was saying that he's not anti-Semitic because blacks are Hebrews. They not Jewish. They Hebrews. So a Hebrew can't be anti-Semitic for saying his point of view. That's what he was saying. You know what I'm saying? Show y'all now. I'm gonna show y'all some articles now. If you look at this article, it shows you. This is from the early 1900s, I believe 1908, and it's about a man, a young deaf man that came from Africa who couldn't speak. Only thing he knew how to do was write in Hebrew. And nobody could. They called him deaf and dumb because they didn't understand what he was saying, but he was speaking Hebrew. And this is in the early 1900s. And you know what I mean? He said his father taught him how to speak and write the language. So if you read the article, you can see that a rabbi at Hartford was perfectly satisfied that he is a Hebrew. He says that he is a Hebrew. He says that from a large town in Africa where he is from a tribe of about 20,000 black speaking Hebrews. And this is way back in the early 1900s before they founded Israel. So when Kyrie Irving was saying, I got the Oxford Dictionary and I do a lot of reading, that's what y'all don't like when we're us doing. They don't like us in books. He was talking about words like this: ruby, which means that the Hebrews was a ruby color. You know what I mean? Or notably ruby. And this is removed from the Oxford Dictionary. And he also was, when he said that Oxford Dictionary is terms like this that you get that's out of today's dictionary, is Ham. He became the progenitor of the dark races, not the Negroes, but the Egyptians, Ethiopians, Libyans, and Canaanites. So when you see not the Negroes, you will understand that the American Negro is only Hebrew and American Indian. So Kyrie Irving also said 300 million of my ancestors are buried on this land. And this what he was equating to. The plain Indians are not real Indians. They Siberians and Europeans. These are how Indians look. This is why this is a depiction of the Indian kid was made like that. You know what I mean? And they actually brought out an Indian. See, when they brought out this Indian kid, they wasn't being racist. This was the Cleveland Indians. And look at the kid they brought out. This was not trying to, you know what I mean? This was known as an Indian back in those days. They knew that. You understand what I mean? So now they made you believe that all blacks are from Africa. And that's false. So if you look back, you only see Indians and paintings depicted as black. And you only see photos of pale-skinned Indians. And look at the Indian dishes. Barbecue chicken, cornbread, farming, agriculture, lives in fertile areas, mound builders, nearly nude. And the other Indians, they fry their bread, they eat buffalo, live in barren areas. You know what I'm saying? And they heavily covered. So these was the European Siberian natives. that just they ran off from whoever they was with and they just lived off the land. You know what I mean? So to complete the land grab, they said that the Chinos, who are descendants from Chinese immigrants to America, they told you that they were the Indians. And they are not the Indians. They are not natives. I know I'm not really dropping sources. I'm just showing y'all articles from books because I don't really care about sources. You just look at the information and you do the research yourself. So if you look, the Negroes that was in America were reclassified. I mean, the Native Americans was reclassified as Negroes. You know what I mean? They gave them an ultimatum. They said, you either gonna go to the I forgot what that area that they gave them. You're gonna go to the Indian lands that the government set aside for them, the reservations, or you gonna be reclassified as a Negro. And the pale-skinned natives came about as a result of original dark-skinned natives breeding with Europeans. So this is how all of this broke down. And when it came down to it, you know what I mean? The natives had a dialect of the Hebrew language, and that cannot be disputed. So that's how we communicated with the Native Americans, because the Native Americans knew Hebrew. So I'm gonna show you some of the this is just an example. Heru hara hala mean hara hara in Hebrew, and praise to the first cause, hallelujah in Indian, and hallelujah in Hebrew. And you can read the chart. It goes on and on and on. So all this kind of information, they don't tell y'all and they don't want y'all. And I'm like Kyrie Irving. I'm just like him. When I was 9 years old, I'm sitting there analyzing this information like, what the fuck? So check this article here. 300 Hebrews in the city. Negroes, Hebrews in New York. 300 in the city, and all came from Jerusalem. And look what year is this. This is back in the 1900s. I don't know where they got the date of the article, but if you look in this article, this Hebrew was jailed. And his job was, he writes scrolls for a rabbi, a Jewish rabbi. So this black Hebrew was up here, and he didn't even know English. He was here to write scrolls for the rabbi in America. So if you read the article, it says, Lawyer Cohen, sworn as a witness, said this prisoner is a Hebrew and is employed by a rabbi to write scrolls. I saw the occurrence myself because this prisoner speaks Hebrew. A large crowd constantly follow him. A crowd surrounded him this morning. The policeman came along and told Manuwitz to move on, thinking he was talking to a regular Negro. Mexico did not understand that he was talking to a Hebrew. So you see, back in these days, there was no, articles was more based on the truth. So, you know, like I said, y'all can Google these articles. You can probably find them online. But if you go back and you check the old maps, you will see that they have Jewish on the maps in Africa. It's named in them all throughout Africa. And you know, so if you go back and research the few hundreds of thousands of slaves that came over, and it wasn't millions because most of the people was black, you would see that they came from the states in Africa where the Hebrews are from. These are not Jewish people. It's a difference between Jewish and Hebrew. What Kyrie Irving did was wrong, for the simple fact that the platform in the position that he plays. But if a regular civilian would have did it, it wouldn't be wrong. And it's not the point of it being what they call anti-Semite, because he's a Hebrew and they Jewish. So what they're talking about relates to him. So basically the way he phrasing it, that's what he's saying. And then at the same time, he's spinning back at them the war on blacks. And this is well documented that this government been anti-Negro. Look what Barack Obama did. Barack Obama is a Hamite. Barack Obama distinguished the word Oriental and Negro. You can't publish those words in books. So 500 years down the line, those words will be watered out. He doing that as a Hamite, knowing that everybody's stupid, thinking like, oh yeah, we all black and we all the same. We are not all the same. We are all different tribes of darker shade people who they blocking our history. That's why they all know where they come from. But they don't want you to know black history, the true black history. They want you to know the history that basically they hide and cover to steal land and steal cultures. And when it come down to the situation that he put himself in, technically a no-win situation for him, because you know what I mean? Like Kanye said, they own all publications. Hollywood, they cut the check. Now, the Jewish people are not racist people. They just handle their business well and they execute well. They nobody enemy. They just, the only thing they is the best at sticking together, something that we're taught not to do. So that's why you see all those Negro sport analysts up there. Kyrie should apologize. Kyrie should say sorry. And they don't want him. He's apologized, but they want him sorry. They want him to take a knee. They want him to kneel to them for his world. So now the NBA is going to punish him for speaking the truth and what he stands for. And he not supposed to, nobody should want nobody to do what they're asking him to do. That's disrespect to any man. And technically the Bible is the most anti-Semitic book on the planet. Read Revelation 2.9 and Revelation 3.9 and tell me that the Bible is lying. Media, people who want him to lie, and that's not to discredit no people. That's just what the Bible said. And like Kyrie Irving said, I didn't write the book. I didn't write these articles. This is information that I'm reading and I'm connecting the dots on. No one taught me this stuff. This is what my personal perspective of me doing researching and reading. I hope you enjoyed. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed. This was part 1, and I'm coming with part 2 tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe and hit like and drop a comment. And I'm gonna touch into more of the facts. And in no way I'm making these videos to disrespect nobody or for nobody to feel no way. This is based off information that's published. Information that's published is for people to check out, comprehend, research, and come up with their own perspective.